Since 2007, I've been the General Secretary of the Civil Servants Union, but now I'm also part of the national leadership of the Trade Union Congress of Swaziland. I'm the National Organizing Secretary responsible for organizing and campaigns within the Federation. The only vehicle through which people can hopefully express themselves politically is through trade unions. And the trade union movement has been trying over the years to carry people's hopes and aspirations in their struggle to democratize the Kingdom of Swaziland. The problem with the government is that generally any resources that they receive, they do not direct those resources to the people. It would be resources that are aimed at assisting in terms of HIV and AIDS or in any other sector. But because it's not a government of the people, even though we're not very rich in terms of natural resources, but the little that we have is enough for all of us. Unemployment is estimated at around 40%, which again is very high. HIV/AIDS prevalence amongst the adult population or sexually active population is estimated at 26%, and that makes Swaziland the country with the highest infection rate in the world. The percentage of the population of people who live below the poverty line is 69%. That is people who live on less than $1 a day. The biggest challenge we're having at the moment as a union is to fight against salary cuts. And so far we've been able to prevent the government from implementing a 10% salary cut across the board. They are saying that because of the financial crisis which they have created, we must pay, and we are refusing to do that. Because the hospital was not properly designed, what is happening now is that the tuberculosis is beginning to affect even the healthcare workers who are our members. They have fallen sick. Already 3 of them have died as a result of this. We will be campaigning vigorously for multi-party democracy. Then the government decided to deregister our federation. And as I speak now, TUCOSA is deregistered and effectively banned, which means the voice of workers in Swaziland has been silenced. There are organizations, as I speak, political entities that are currently proscribed, banned from operating in the country. One of them being the leading opposition party in Swaziland, the People's United Democratic Movement, PUDEMO. They are banned now as a result of the Separation of Territories Act of 2008. Their president was arrested immediately that piece of legislation was passed. He was taken to jail on trumped up charges. He stayed in prison for over 10 months. And when the matter finally appeared before a judge, it was a shame for government, because within a matter of a few minutes, the judge just dismissed the government's case and said there was no case, which means they had just taken an innocent person because he's calling for democracy and put him in jail just to victimize him and to intimidate others who may be calling for democracy. But subsequently, after that, a number of activists have been raided, their homes have been raided, they have been detained and tortured by the police, and then maybe later released. The TUC in Swaziland has been deregistered, and therefore it requires solidarity with other national centers so that the deregistration of TUCOSA is revoked. It can only be revoked if our internal efforts in Swaziland are combined with international pressure that would come from our comrades in the continent of Africa as well as outside the continent of Africa. The need for workers of the world to unite, because the problems are more or less the same. The people that run the transnational corporations and that run government, the institutions such as IMF and World Bank, they use the same prescription for all the countries across the globe. And they are united. They united the level of WTO, they united SG8, and they agree on what policies to implement in the different countries. So us as workers also must unite